All right, let's talk about the single most critical moment in your online store, the checkout. I mean, this is it, right? It's that final hurdle where a casual browser actually becomes a paying customer. And if you get this part wrong, well, you're literally leaving money on the table. So let's dive right in.
So here's a tough question for you, but it's one we have to ask. Could your checkout page be the silent killer of your sales? Think about it. This one page, it's where the entire customer journey comes to a head. It is the absolute make or break moment where they either click buy or just abandon their cart forever. The stakes, they honestly couldn't be higher.
Which brings us to our first point, your most important page. We're calling it that because really, this is where a browser becomes a buyer. It's the spot where all your hard work, all your marketing either pays off or fizzles out. So today we're going to break down the 3 main checkout options that WooCommerce offers so you can really nail this crucial moment.
Okay, so let's meet the 3 contenders. We've got checkout blocks, which is the new, modern, really flexible option. Then there's classic checkout. Think of it as the reliable workhorse. And finally, custom checkout, the totally tailor-made solution for those really unique business needs. Each one has its own strengths, so let's figure out which one is the right fit for you.
All right, first up, checkout blocks. This is pretty much the new era for WooCommerce. The best way to think about it, it's kind of like building with Legos. It's this awesome visual drag-and-drop system that lets you move things around and customize your checkout page right inside the normal WordPress editor. And the best part, you don't have to touch a single line of code.
And getting started is, incredibly simple. Seriously. You just have to make sure your WooCommerce is up to date, you activate the blocks plugin, and boom! You can jump right into the block editor and start playing around, moving things where you want them. The whole thing is designed to be super fast and intuitive.
And this is where you start to see the real power of blocks. Just imagine, with a few clicks, adding a last-minute promo code field. Or maybe a little, hey, you might also like this suggestion, right before the customer pays. It's such a simple, code-free way to bump up your average order value.
Okay, next up, we've got the classic checkout. This is the old faithful. The default page that's been a part of WooCommerce pretty much since day one. It's super stable, it's reliable, and it just works. It's your straightforward, no-frills standard option.
Now, configuring the classic checkout isn't really about building anything. It's more about tweaking. You just head into your settings, you can flip features like guest checkout on or off, and maybe you add a little bit of custom CSS, that's just some styling code, to make a few small visual changes. It's all managed right there in your settings panels. Nice and easy.
So who is this for really? Well, it's absolutely perfect for a new small business, maybe someone whose main priority is just to get up and running, like fast. And to do it reliably without any extra costs or crazy complications. It does the job perfectly right out of the box. And that brings us to our third option, the custom checkout. Okay, this is where you get the ultimate power and control. We're talking about building a checkout experience literally from the ground up, using custom code or some really advanced plugins. The goal here is to create a journey that is 100% unique to your brand and your business model.
Now, I'm not going to lie, this path is definitely more technical. It involves things like creating what's called a child theme to keep your work safe, using plugins for special custom fields, and then, diving into the code. You'll be using things called hooks and filters. A simple way to think of them is like little anchor points in the code where you can attach your own new features. This is really where the developers get to shine.
So you might be thinking, why on earth would I go through all that trouble? Well, let's say you run a subscription box service. You absolutely need to show your customers detailed info about their recurring payments, right? And maybe you need to run some really unique validation scripts. A standard checkout just isn't going to cut it. That's where a custom solution isn't just nice, it's essential.
All right, now that we've met all 3 contenders, let's put them head to head, because understanding the trade-offs here, between ease of use, stability, and sheer power, that's the key to making the right call for your store.
So this table pretty much lays it all out for you. You can see blocks are super easy and visual, but maybe they lack that really deep customization you might need. Classic, rock solid, super stable, but you're a bit limited on the design front. And custom, well, you get total control, but it's going to cost you in technical expertise and development time. The main takeaway here, and this is crucial, is that there's no single best option. There's only the best option for your specific situation.
Okay, let's switch gears a little. Because no matter which path you choose, blocks, classic, or custom, there are some universal pitfalls that can absolutely sink your sales. So let's look at 3 of the most common mistakes that you really need to avoid.
First up, overcomplicating it. Seriously, too many fields, too many pop-ups, too many distractions, it just makes people frustrated, and they'll leave. Keep it clean and simple. Second big one, ignoring mobile. I mean, come on, a huge chunk of your customers are on their phones. If your checkout is a total pain to use on a small screen, you are just throwing money away. And third, not testing enough. One little broken button can bring your entire sales process to a screeching halt. So please test, and then test again.
So, the big question, how do you put all of this together and actually make a decision? Well, to help you out, we've put together a simple, actionable checklist to guide you to the checkout that's a perfect fit for you.
Think of this as your roadmap. First, just take a second to assess your needs versus your resources. Like, be honest. How much customization do you really need? And what's your technical skill level and budget? Once you've got that figured out, it's all about best practices. Always design for mobile first. Test everything like crazy. And keep an eye on your analytics to see where people might be dropping off so you can fix those friction points.
And that brings us to one last thought to leave you with. Try not to think of your checkout as just a boring form. It's really the final conversation you have with your customer right before they commit. So, is that conversation saying, hey, this is easy and trustworthy? Or is it screaming, this is complicated and confusing? The choice you make, that defines the conversation. So what do you want yours to say?